Yo guys, it's Venom and welcome to a brand new series on my channel called the Building for Dummies Fortnite Guide. This is going to be dedicated to all of you new players who are learning to build for the very first time in Fortnite Battle Royale. I'm going through all the smaller details I can come up with to help you get off the ground with your building mechanics and apply them in-game. Each of these videos will have timestamps, so make sure you check the description to quickly fly through and find the information you need. Other than that, if that sounds interesting, let's get right into the video. Being a fluent builder is going to be beneficial for things like map mobility, as well as your offensive and defensive player interactions. This could be in the form of creating good angles for yourself, protecting yourself while you heal, or even boxing in your opponents with piece control. Alright, so first things first, before we start learning, we're going to want to know how to load up creative. So once you've loaded into your lobby, come to the bottom right of your screen here, click the change button, find creative if it's not already selected, click accept, click play. And it's going to give you an option to join new friends that are on creative, or you can do creative or play. It doesn't really matter which one you click. They're all basically the same for this purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and click create, launch. And after a couple seconds, it should throw you into your own world. And I'll show you how to access your own private island, which is what you're going to do most of your learning and free building on. There we go. So it should have your game name or alias over here. So for me, it's VenomG. Jump into my portal. Alright guys, so now that we've loaded up a creative world, the next thing we're going to worry about is figuring out what keybinds you want to use for building. I've linked a really good resource in the description. It's a video by ItchJarian that's going to help you out with a whole bunch of options on potentially optimal build binds. You could also go ahead and copy mine as well, which is mouse 5 thumb button for wall, C with my thumb for floor, mouse 4 for my ramp, which is the closer to the body thumb button, and then I use my left shift as cone. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, make sure you figure out some optimal keybinds. You definitely want to be getting off the default Fortnite build binds. That's really, really important. It's going to help you with your movement, and it's gonna stop you from progressing in the future if you keep those default binds. So make sure you figure those binds out before we move on to the settings. So real quick, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm going to show you how to change your keybinds. So hit escape and look for the settings tab. In the settings tab, we're going to go to this arrow icon, arrow key icon looking thing. And now we're going to look for the sub tab building. So we'll just scroll down a bit and we'll find building here. And the 4 that we're going to focus on for now, if you're just starting out with building, is just the wall, floor, stairs, and roof binds. So you can copy mine, or if you've watched the video I linked in the description already, you can go ahead and put in your binds there as well. Everything else we're not really going to worry about for now, but there are 2 more settings we're going to change before we start building, so hang tight for that if you haven't done that already. The last 2 things we're going to do before we start building is go back into our settings menu, click on the gear up here, and then we're going to turn sprint by default to on. And then once you've done that, we're going to come down and also change confirm edit on release to on. If you don't know what that means, that's totally fine. But if you are brand new to building, I highly recommend you turn this on. There are some good Fortnite players who do prefer this off, I believe. But if you are starting to learn, if you're just starting to learn to build, I definitely do recommend to keep this on. But other than that, we are ready to get going now. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is just a basic ramp rush like so. So the first step of doing this is just first placing the ramps alone. So pull out your ramp bind. For me, it's mouse button 4. And left mouse button will place that build down. So the first thing you want to get comfortable with is just simply connecting one ramp piece like so. Hold down W. If you turned on auto run, you should be sprinting automatically, which is why as soon as I start moving, I start running. And then figure out the crosshair placement. It should be relatively straightforward for just ramps alone. They should connect really naturally like so. However, I will mention the only thing that is slightly unintuitive is you can place the ramps quite far forward from you. If you can see right there, I'm barely even standing on this ramp piece and I can already place the next one. So that's pretty noteworthy. And it'll kind of show you how far away from your model you can actually build. All right, so the next step, once you've gotten comfortable with the single ramps, is we're going to do kind of like an OG ramp rush, which was really popular in like when Fortnite just came out. This is when building, when people were just learning to build. So this is really common. We'd see these in games all the time, is we would do a ramp and a wall behind it. So the wall placement behind the ramp might be a little bit unintuitive for people who are new to the building mechanics. So yes, you can place builds through, or you can place walls more specifically through like things like cones and ramps in the building grid. So find this crosshair placement here and notice how it kind of has a outline before I place it, and then left click there. And then same thing as before. So now we're going to go forward with the ramps, but now when we're about at this point, we can already put down the wall. Make sure you don't put it too early though, otherwise it'll kind of put it down in your face here. But you can edit it open like that. We're not going to get too into editing, but just hit your edit bind, make like a 2x2 edit like this if you get stuck, or you can just break it. And the storm is closing in on me, so that's kind of awkward. Yeah, so again, wall, so ramp, wall, ramp, wall. You don't actually have to move your crosshair too much if you see here at full speed. So try and find a very efficient way for you to kind of go quickly. So you look up slightly to place the ramp, down slightly to place the wall. That's it. All right, so practice that up. Move side to side on the ramp to get comfortable with it. And then finally, when you get comfortable with that, we're going to move on to the ramp rush, which actually still is usable today. Even in competitive games, you're not going to see it a lot, but definitely something worth picking up on. Now we're going to do ramp, or actually let's just get off the ground. I'll start it here. So we're going to do ramp, floor, wall. Now you can do it in any order you want, but that's just the best for like, what do you call that, like hypothetical best crosshair placement, because if you do, for example, ramp, wall, floor, you have to go kind of in this up down motion, whereas if you do it ramp, floor, wall, you'll start down and you'll go up in one motion like this. Actually, yeah, honestly, now that I'm doing it, there's not really a big difference. You pick whichever one you want to do, but I think the most people are going to go with the ramp, floor, wall one. So yeah, so again, we're going to run, just hit W, ramp, look down slightly for the floor, and wall. So yeah, it should be relatively straightforward. It just takes a little bit of practice to get comfortable with. And when you get good at doing the builds, try to incorporate a little bit of sideways movement, kind of like this. So move side to side on your ramp rush like so. And that's going to practice two things. That's going to practice your movement plus building, and also your mouse tracking, because that's also your mouse is going to have to compensate slightly to follow your movement accordingly. So now that I've shown you how to do the triple ramp, all that's left for you guys to do is go out and practice. We're going to end off the lesson with just that one building technique, just for the true beginners. If people who are genuinely trying to learn this for the first time, it's going to take them a lot more time to practice and obviously catch up than someone who already knows what they're doing watching this video. So yeah, so I'm going to show you real quick how to practice this on your own. Really straightforward for this. Really, I guess it's not even a drill. It's literally, we're going to do it, the movement itself. So depending on which variation we need to work on, we're just going to rinse and repeat like so. So if it's a single ramp, just keep connecting the single ramps like that. Excuse me. And then if we know how to do the wall ramps, then do wall ramps. And if you need to work on your triple ramps, work on your triple ramps. We want to ideally practice this until we get to around a 70 to 90% success rate, just because it's really important to lock down these fundamentals before we start adding more building techniques into our arsenal. Otherwise, we're going to get overwhelmed. We're not really going to master anything. And then when you go in game, you're not going to see any improvement because you haven't practiced them enough to become subconscious. That's the key to any kind of in-game application. Doesn't matter what kind of things you can do in creative, if you're not practiced enough that they're subconscious and you can do them instantly in game. It doesn't have to be instant, but it better be reasonably comfortable to do. But in terms of techniques, that's all I'm going to show you guys for today. So go out and practice. Best of luck. I will catch you guys in the next video. So hopefully you enjoyed and found this video helpful. Drop a like and hit the subscribe button to help support me and the channel. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.